Hi everyone, I'm Xiao Jin from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach you how to crochet a tiger doll from the Chinese aesthetics series. This is the Lucky Tiger doll. The doll consists of two main sections, the main part and the accessories. The main part includes the legs, the body, the stomach, the back, and the head, and the ears, and the tail. The accessories include the eyepieces, the eyeballs, the eyebrows, the nose, the whiskers, the forehead patch, and other decorative elements. First, complete the main part. Then, make and attach all the accessories. First, learn the crocheting method for the main part. Start by learning the crocheting method for the legs. Now, let's look at the chart. In the chart, the rounds column is indicated by our plus number. The total stitches column represents the total number of stitches for the entire pattern. After completing the current round, the increases and decreases explanation column indicates the stitch techniques required for crocheting the current round, along with any increasing or decreasing situations. Below, please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. For your convenience to see more clearly, I am using cotton yarn for the demonstration. Random colors. For specific yarn, color schemes, and crochet hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product, and the paper instructions. The foundation chain in the table is, which indicates the foundation method is an adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. The hook moves between these 2 points. Insert into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. There is 1 loop on the hook. Work another chain stitch to secure it. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is done. The magic ring is completed. Now let's start the first round. R1 is 6x. What's the number in front of x? We will work a few single crochets. This means inside the starting loop of the magic ring, crochet 6 single crochets. Work 1 chain stitch as the standing stitch. It serves as the turning chain for the single crochet. This standing stitch isn't marked on the chart, but in reality, when crocheting in rounds, at the beginning of each round, you need to work a standing stitch. It does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Then work single crochets inside the starting loop of the magic ring. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through in once. 1 single crochet is now complete. The braid on the upper right corresponds to the stitch. That is, these 2 strands forming a V shape. Move on to the second stitch. Insert into the large space. Pull through. Yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook in once. The second single crochet is now done. There are 6 stitches total for this round. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting. 3, 4, 5, 6. After completion, let's tighten the magic ring. There are 2 strands here. First, gently pull the yarn tail. You'll see that one of the loops is movable. Tighten the moving loop first. 1 loop remains. Pull the yarn tail tight directly. This way, the loop is tightened properly. Then, on the first single crochet stitch of this round, finish with a slip stitch. Insert the hook through these 2 strands. And draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on your hook in one go. The slip stitch is complete. The braid next to it is the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch. You need to tighten it. Similarly, the slip stitch is not indicated in the form. When crocheting in rounds, always finish by joining with a slip stitch and pull tight. That completes the first round. Move on to the second round. R2 is XV times 3. The parentheses here indicate a group. Times 3 means repeat the stitch 3 times. For this round, 1 single crochet and 1 SC2 in 1. Repeat the crocheting 3 times. Start with 1 chain stitch. Let me emphasize this again. At the beginning of each round, you need to make a turning chain. I won't repeat this for the following rounds. Tighten it. In the first stitch of the previous round, crochet 1 single crochet. That is, at the insertion point, where you previously made the slip stitch. Insert the hook. While crocheting, place the starting chain's yarn tail above the crochet hook, and weave it in as you go along. In the adjacent stitch, work a SC2 in 1, which means crocheting 2 single crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2. The SC2 in 1 is finished. One group, XV, is completed. Let me demonstrate it again. First, make a single crochet, then, work a SC2 in 1. This is the second time. Continue with 1 single crochet, 1 SC2 in 1. After completing all of them, you can count the number of single crochets. Tidy up the fabric piece. Make sure the clearer texture side faces outward. This is the right side. The blurry texture side is the wrong side. That makes 1 stitch. It corresponds to a V-shaped braid above. Let's count the braids. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 stitches in total. This is the total number of stitches for each round. It's all marked in the corresponding table, so I won't explain it further. Next, finish with a slip stitch on the first stitch. Pay attention. At the end of each round, you must join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Insert your hook. Draw the yarn through and pull through all the loops on your hook. The slip stitch is complete. Tighten the slip stitch. You can trim off the excess yarn tail directly. The second round is now complete. Continue with the third round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pull it tight. Crochet 1 single crochet into the same stitch. Then, crochet 1 SC2 in 1 next. Follow that with 5 single crochets. And then 1 SC2 in 1 stitch. 1 single crochet. Join with a slip stitch in the first stitch position. Tighten. The third round is complete. Move on to the fourth round. Crochet 1 SC2 in 1 stitch for the first stitch. Finish crocheting all the way down. End with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The fourth round is completed. You can take a look. The surface of the fabric has raised textures as your guide. The number of rounds with these textures indicates how many rounds you have completed. 1, 2, 3, 4. This means you have already crocheted 4 rounds. Now move on to the 5th round. Start with 1 single crochet. Then crochet 1 SC2 in 1 stitch. Repeat twice. After completing, crochet 5 single crochets. Then repeat the pattern of 1 SC2 in 1 stitch and 1 single crochet twice. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The 5th round is now complete. The method for the 6th round is relatively simple. I won't demonstrate it. After finishing, secure with a chain stitch. Stretch the loop. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. One leg is now crocheted. Crochet the other 3 in the same way. I won't demonstrate it. This is the method for crocheting the legs. After completing all 4 legs, connect them together. Crochet the body in rounds. In the chart, CH stands for chain stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, connect the 4 legs together. Take one of the legs. Locate the position where the yarn was cut. Count 5 stitches to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start crocheting from the 5th stitch. Insert the hook. Take out the yarn tail. Tie a slip knot. Hang the yarn tail on your left hand. Draw the loop through with the hook. Adjust the size of the loop. Make sure the knot does not exit through the fabric piece. 11 CH means to crochet 11 chain stitches. Complete them. After completing, take out the second leg. Count 5 stitches to the left from the break point, including the stitch with the knot. Starting from the 5th stitch, pick up the stitch and crochet 13 single crochets downward. There are 8 stitches remaining on this leg. Then crochet 18 chain stitches. Take out the third leg. Starting from the 5th stitch position, crochet 13 single crochets. Don't skip the stitch at the knot position. (11 chain stitches). Take out the 4th leg. Starting from the 5th stitch, crochet 13 single crochets downward. (18 chain stitches). Then from the first leg, at the 5th stitch position, crochet 13 single crochets downward. Tidy up the chain stitches in front before crocheting. Mind that the chain stitches don't twist. The last single crochet goes into the chain stitch's insertion point. After completing, finish with a slip stitch on the first chain. Pick up the strand above the braid and crochet. Tighten. The 4 legs are now connected. Below, work the first round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pull tight. The first stitch is A, which means to crochet 1 SC2 tog. Here we use the invisible decrease method. Insert the hook into the second braid on the left side. Pick up the strand above. Then insert the hook into the slip stitch insertion point on the right side. Right here. When crocheting, weave in the starting tail of the yarn at the same time. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain. Yarn over and draw through all loops in one motion. That's 1 decrease completed. Crochet using this method. The gaps between stitches will be smaller. The texture will look more delicate and attractive. Work 3 single crochets downward. Start from the adjacent chain space. Pay attention not to crochet in the wrong spot. For chain stitch positions, always pick up the strand above the braid. One SC2 in 1 stitch. If the starting tail is too long, leave about 5 centimeters of length. Cut off the excess part. Three single crochets. There are 2 chains left. Work the second SC2 tog stitch. Insert the hook first into the second strand from the left on top of the chain. Then insert it into the strand on top of the right chain. There will be 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops. There will be 2 loops left. Yarn over and draw through all the loops in once. The SC2 tog stitch is completed. Work 13 single crochets next. This is the stitch position. Pick up the stitch and crochet as usual. When working SC2 tog in a chain space, always insert the hook into the second braid from the left first. Then insert into the braid on the right and crochet. Start the adjacent single crochet from the 3rd chain position. Pay attention not to crochet in the wrong position. Refer to the pattern and complete them. When you encounter a stitch position, pick up the stitch and continue crocheting. Finally, end with a slip stitch at the first stitch position. Tighten the yarn. The first round is completed. Move on to the second round. In this round, the square brackets indicate a large group. First, crochet 4 single crochets. After completing them, make 1 SC2 tog. When decreasing at the stitch position, insert the hook into the front loop of the stitch. A stitch looks like this, 2 strands of yarn. The strand closer to you is the front loop. The strand farther out is the back loop. Insert the hook into the front loop of the adjacent stitch. Then insert it into the front loop of the left stitch. Complete this decrease. The SC2 tog is done. Start crocheting single crochets from the adjacent stitch. Continue all the way down to complete the first group of stitches. After finishing, repeat the pattern inside the square brackets. Crochet this group of stitches. End with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The second round is completed. For the third round, it's 94 stitches with no increasing or decreasing. This means picking up stitches to correspond evenly. Crochet single crochets without adding or subtracting. There are a total of 94 stitches. The method is relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the pattern chart to finish the remaining sections. While crocheting, pay attention. Do not adjust the positions for increasing or decreasing randomly. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. I won't demonstrate this part. Look everyone, this is what the body looks like when it's completed. Next, crochet the belly in rounds below the legs. After finishing, sew together the opening. Watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Here, for your convenience to see more clearly, I'll demonstrate with a different color of yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn tail. Find the beginning stitch of the body. It's this stitch right here. Start crocheting from the braid on the right side of this row. You can see there is a single crochet next to it. To the right of the single crochet, there is a horizontal line. Insert your hook into this horizontal line, and make a standing stitch. Pull tight. Then, work 1 SC2 tog. The insertion position here is slightly different from before. First, insert your hook into a strand of the left braid. Then pick up one strand from the adjacent braid. Crochet a decrease stitch. While crocheting, weave in the yarn tail of the starting stitch. After completing, crochet 7 single crochets. When working the single crochets, you need to insert the hook under 2 strands of the braid. You can see this single crochet is worked into the same space as the single crochet on the opposite side. After completing the 7 single crochets, crochet 1 SC2 tog. There are 2 chains remaining on the left side. This is the insertion point for the first decrease stitch from before. Simply follow the order and insert the hook into these 2 strands to crochet. Then work single crochets on the leg section. Directly pick up the stitches and crochet. There is also one stitch at the joint position. Don't skip it. While crocheting, weave in the yarn tail from breaking the yarn. After completing, work a SC2 tog stitch at the chain stitch position. For a more attractive texture, without any large holes, you need to include this strand here while crocheting. This strand from the adjacent single crochet stitch. First, insert your hook into the 2 chains on the left side. Which are these 2 stitches? These 2 strands. After completing that, then insert your hook into the horizontal bar, at the edge of the single crochet on the right side, which is right here. Yarn over and pull through the first 3 loops. Yarn over again, and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. The decrease stitch is now completed. Next, pick up the 2 strands of the chain. Crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. After finishing, crochet 1 decrease stitch. Similarly, to avoid large gaps between the single crochets that follow. While crocheting, you need to include the edge of the single crochet on the left side, by bringing it along as well. First, insert your hook into the top strand of the 2 adjacent chains. Then, insert it into the strand along the edge of the single crochet on the left side. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 3 loops. Yarn over again, and pull through the remaining loops on your hook. The SC2 tog is now complete. At the leg position, start crocheting single crochets directly from the adjacent stitch. When you encounter a decrease at the left edge of the leg, first insert your hook into the strand of the 2 adjacent chains. Then insert into the horizontal bar along the edge of the single crochet on the right side. Work the SC2 tog stitch. Then pick up the 2 strands from the chain and work a single crochet. When working a decrease on the right side of the leg, first insert your hook into the strand of the 2 adjacent chains. Then insert it into the strand along the edge of the single crochet on the left side to complete the stitch. Follow this method, and continue crocheting downward to complete the rest. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The first round is completed. Move on to the second round. Work 1 SC2 tog stitch for the first stitch. First, insert your hook into the previous slip stitch position, corresponding to the front loop. Then insert it into the adjacent front loop. Pay attention not to crochet in the wrong spot. The following working method is relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the pattern chart and finish crocheting the remaining sections. I'll skip the demonstration. After completion, crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 40 centimeters. Pull tight. This is what the belly looks like after it's done. Next, sew together the opening of the belly. Thread the yarn tail into a sewing needle. Align the front and back of the belly and press it flat. Make sure the front and back legs are aligned in a straight line. Insert the needle into the corresponding stitch on the front and back edges. Slightly tighten. Sew an extra stitch in the same position to secure it. Then insert into the adjacent corresponding stitches on the front and back. Pull tight. Each time you sew, go from front to back. Insert into the adjacent corresponding stitches on the front and back. Continue sewing downward until they are all finished. When sewing, match one stitch to another. At the end, sew an extra stitch to secure it. Go through to the wrong side. Follow the texture on the wrong side and secure it. You can separate the strands of the yarn tail. Pull one strand out from an adjacent position. Tie a knot. Hide it well. The belly is now completed. Move on to crocheting the back. Let's take a look at the finished product. Crochet back and forth along the side edges of the body. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, locate the position of the first stitch. Take a piece of yarn in a different color. Set it aside for later use. It will be used to mark the spot. Align the body along the belly sewing position. Press it flat, aligning the front and back. Ensure the leg positions are aligned. Find the side of the body with the beginning chain. Locate the center stitch of the folded edge. Insert the hook. Draw out the yarn tail in the other color. Use it to mark the position. Count 18 stitches to the left and right from the marked stitch. Note that the marked stitch itself is not included. Place a marker at the 18th stitch. These marked positions on both sides are the crochet positions for the back. Hang the yarn tail on the left hand. Insert the hook into the marked position on the right side. Chain 1 to start. The beginning chain doesn't need to be tightened. Work one single crochet in the same position. Crochet single crochets into each stitch below, one by one. Continue until you reach the marked position on the left side. There is also a stitch at the junction point. Don't skip it. The first row is now completed. Move on to the second row. Chain 1 to start. Rotate the fabric counterclockwise. Crochet this row on the wrong side. Work back and forth. The beginning chain doesn't need to be tightened. The stitch on the wrong side is located at the top left position. The crocheting method here is slightly different from before. Place the hook behind the yarn tail. Insert it through the edge stitch from back to front. Yarn over clockwise. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the loops on your hook. The single crochet is completed. Continue by placing the hook behind the yarn tail. Insert it from back to front into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over clockwise. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. The second single crochet is finished. You can flip it over to take a look. Crochet using this method. The texture of the single crochet is almost consistent with the right side. It looks even more beautiful. Complete the corresponding number of single crochets. Place the hook behind the yarn tail for all of them. Insert it from back to front into the stitch. Yarn over clockwise. Pull the yarn through. After completing, continue with decreasing stitches. Here, pick up only the back loops for crocheting. First, insert into the second back loop from the left. Then insert back into the right back loop. Yarn over clockwise. Draw the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the loops on your hook. The SC2 tog is now completed. Start crocheting single crochets from the adjacent stitch. Pay attention to inserting in the correct position. I'll demonstrate the decrease method again. First, insert into the second back loop from the left. Then insert into the back loop on the right. Yarn over clockwise. Pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and draw through the loops on your hook. The decrease is now finished. Continue crocheting all the way down. Don't forget the edge stitches. The second row is now completed. Move on to the third row. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Rotate the piece counterclockwise. Start from the edge stitch. Begin crocheting. Continue crocheting all the way down. When crocheting a decrease on even numbered rows, the method of inserting the hook is slightly different. Insert your hook into the second front loop from the left first, then insert it back into the front loop on the right side. Crochet the decrease. Don't miss the edge stitches. The third row is now finished. The following crocheting method is quite simple. When crocheting on the wrong side, follow the method used in row 2, for decreases on the right side. Follow the demonstration from row 3, you can refer to the pattern and complete them by yourself. I won't demonstrate here. After everything is completed, crochet a chain stitch to secure. Stretch the loop, leave a tail of about 40 centimeters, then cut the yarn. Then sew up the back. Align and press flat the last row of stitches for both sides. Still use the reserved yarn tail to sew it together. The method is the same as for the belly. Weave in the ends. After completing, stuff the body and legs a little. Make sure it's firmly stuffed and even. The back is now completed. Next, crochet the head. Along the remaining part of the body, crochet in rounds around the side edges of the back. Please watch as I demonstrate the exact crocheting method. Start with R1, the first round. Begin crocheting at the back seam, where it was sewn together. Insert the hook into the edge position on the left side. Chain 1 is the beginning chain. Pull tight. Work one single crochet into this edge stitch. Pick up 1 or 2 loops for crocheting. Next, work one single crochet into the edge of the adjacent row. After completing it, make one SC2 tog stitch. First, insert the hook into one loop from the adjacent row. Then, insert again into the loop of the next adjacent row. Crochet by working into that edge stitch. Continue downward and work one single crochet into the edge position of the next 2 adjacent rows. Work one single crochet in each edge stitch. After completing them, make one SC2 tog stitch. Now we've reached the body section. Pick up the front loops of the 2 adjacent stitches for crocheting. Work the corresponding number of single crochets downward. After completing them, make one SC2 tog stitch. Now at the back position, continue crocheting using the previous method. When making a SC2 tog with the crochet hook, insert into one edge loop, then insert again into the edge loop of the adjacent row and crochet. That's all you need to do. Crochet this side following the previous method. For the last stitch, insert into the edge stitch and complete the crochet. After completing, slip stitch to end at the first stitch position. Pull tight. The first round is now completed. The following rounds are relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the pattern and finish crocheting them on your own. While crocheting, stuff as you go, ensuring the piece is firmly stuffed and even. In the table, R1011 indicates working even for 42 stitches. This refers to round 10 and round 11. For these 2 rounds, work even without increasing or decreasing. Crochet in rounds using single crochets. Pay attention when crocheting the last round. In this round, crochet 6 continuous decreases. Be mindful not to work in the wrong position. Leave a 15 cm yarn tail at the end. I will not demonstrate this part. If the fabric is not yet firmly stuffed, you can add more stuffing through this small hole. Insert a bit more fiberfill if needed. After completing, thread the yarn tail into a darning needle. Insert the needle through the front loops of the previous stitches in the last round sequentially. Pull the yarn tail tight. Weave the excess yarn tail through adjacent positions a few times. Then weave it through the head area a few more times. Separate the strands along the starting chain position, and tie a knot. The head is now complete. Next, crochet the ears and the tail. Let's take a look at the finished product. All parts are started with the magic ring method. Crochet them in rounds. Finish crocheting them on your own. After completing, leave a corresponding length of yarn tail. I won't demonstrate this part here. Everyone, take a look. This is what the ears and tail look like when they're done. Next, secure them in their corresponding positions. Start by fixing the tail. Stuff the tail a little. Place it in the middle position at the back. Align the bottom with the first row. Place the beginning chain position at the back. Pass it through from the back. Thread it through the edge stitches of the tail. Tighten the yarn tail. Insert it back into the backside. Pass it through the tail's edge again. Secure it along the 1st to 5th rows of the back. Sew them down as you move downward. Adjust the position while sewing. Prevent it from being sewn crooked. Finally, pass it through from the back. Use the previous method to weave in the ends. I won't demonstrate it again. The tail is now secured. Next, let's secure the ears. Here, I've already secured one ahead of time. After completion, just pass the yarn tail through from the back. Let me demonstrate the securing method. Place the ear along the beginning chain position. Align it front and back, then press it flat. Fold the sides towards the middle. Sew it to secure it in place. Attach the ear to the head. At the position between the 5th last round and the 8th round. Exit with the needle. First, secure the back part of the ear. Match and secure the 2 corresponding stitches on the front and back. After completion, also secure the front part. Fold the edge and fix it. Finally, pass through from the back at the same spot. Tie a simple knot with 2 strands of yarn. Hide it inside. The 2 ears are now secured. The main part is completed. Next, learn how to make and install the accessories. Start by crocheting the eyepieces. Let's take a look at the finished product. Both eye patches are crocheted in rounds, using the magic ring method. While crocheting, you need to change colors. The new stitch technique used is F double crochet and the CH3SL picket. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with the right eye patch. The first 2 rounds are relatively simple. Pay attention while crocheting. The first round consists of 7 single crochets. This is a different amount from before. I've already completed this part in advance. After finishing, leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Move on to the next part. Continue with the third round. Use the corresponding color scheme for this round. The sample colors are chosen randomly. Tie the yarn tail into a loose knot. Hang the yarn tail on your left hand. Insert the hook into the spot where the yarn was broken. Draw out the loop with the knot. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. While crocheting, bring along the yarn tail from the break. Pull tight. Work 1 single crochet into the same stitch. As you crochet, weave in these 2 yarn tails together. Continue all the way down to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. The third round is done. Next, work on the fourth round. Hang the yarn tail on your left hand. Start crocheting with a beginning chain at the point where the yarn was broken. First, work 16 single crochets. The symbol XF after the chart means in the same position. It indicates working 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Work 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. Begin with a single crochet. After completing the single crochet, work 1 double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert into the same position. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over on after another. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this twice. 1, 2, 1 double crochet is completed. Next is a CH3SL picket. Start with chaining 3. After completing, insert into the front loop of the right double crochet and the left yarn below. Crochet a slip stitch. No need to tighten the slip stitch. The CH3SL picket stitches is completed. Work a double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Next is FW, which means to work 1 double crochet and place 3 stitches. That is, crochet 3 double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. The DC 3-in-1 is completed. Finally, it's 2T, which means to crochet 2 half double crochets. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw through. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. 1 half double crochet is finished. Move on to the second stitch. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 40 centimeters and cut the yarn. Pull tight. The right eyepiece is completed. The method for crocheting the left eyepiece is similar to the right one. You can refer to the pattern chart and finish it on your own. I won't demonstrate this part. Everyone, take a look. This is what the 2 eyepieces look like when they're completed. Next, we'll attach the eyebrows. Before attaching, make sure to confirm the position of the eyepieces. Align the 2 eyepieces with the 9th round from the top of the head. there should be an interval of about 4 stitches between them. Use a short piece of yarn, in a different color to temporarily secure the eyepieces. Slightly hold them in place. Once done, take out the wool felt. Pull out one strand. You'll need a little more than what you think. Compare the length with the eyepiece. It should be a little longer than half the length of the eyepiece. Use more yarn in the middle and less on the sides. Secure it onto the head, at the position from the 11th round to the 9th round from the top. Cut a longer piece of gold thread. Place the eyebrows in their corresponding positions. Insert the needle from behind. Exit at the 11th round from the top. Pull out part of the yarn tail. Place the eyebrows on the edge of the gold thread. Insert into the same stitch. Exit after leaving a certain distance apart. Gently tighten. Continue inserting into the same position. Exit after leaving a certain distance apart. Repeat this process. Find a few points. Secure the eyebrows in place. Follow the edge of the eye patch to fix it. After completing, sew back once to secure further. Finally, exit from the same position. Tie a few more simple knots with the 2 strands. To prevent the gold thread tail from coming undone, you can apply glue at the knot position. Then hide it inside. If there is a longer remaining part at the end, you can trim a little. One eyebrow has been secured. Fix the other one using the same method. I won't demonstrate it. Next, secure the eyepiece. When fixing, hide the excess part of the eyebrow inside. Remove the securing thread. When fixing the top part, secure the eyebrows together as well. Finally, exit from the back. Fix the other eyepiece in the same way. Start securing this side from the top. Finally, tie a knot with the 2 threads and secure it. I won't demonstrate it. After the eyepiece is secured, at a position slightly below the center, glue the eyeball in place. Apply glue on the eyeball first. Align its edge with the second circle. When actually fixing it, pay attention. The positions of the 2 eyeballs on the left and right sides must remain symmetrical. I will not repeat the demonstration. Next, let's learn the crochet method for the nose. The nose consists of 3 parts: the nostrils, and decorations. First, let's learn how to crochet the bridge of the nose. Use the magic ring method and crochet in rounds. S stands for slip stitch. Watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet technique. The method for the first 10 rounds is quite simple. I have already crocheted them in advance. After completing the 8th round, you need to add some stuffing. Then crochet the remaining 2 rounds. After finishing the 10th round, enlarge the loop. Pass the yarn ball through the loop. Pull tight. Move on to the last row. Align the fabric piece along the position of the beginning chain. Press it flat from front to back. Place the side with slip stitches at the back. Insert the hook into the 2 corresponding stitch loops on both sides of the edge. There are 4 strands of yarn in total. Hang the yarn tail on the left hand. Draw the yarn through. Pay attention to not pulling the transition yarn too tight. To prevent the fabric piece from curling up, crochet 4 chain stitches. The number after the table is second to last. This means start crocheting from the second to last chain. S stands for slip stitch. Pick up the strand above the V-shaped loop. Crochet a slip stitch. This slip stitch doesn't need to be tightened. Then crochet 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, next, in the corresponding stitches of the adjacent front and back edges, crochet 1 single crochet. While crocheting, weave in the transition yarn. Corresponding stitches on the front and back edges. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Four chain stitches. Start from the second to last chain. Crochet 1 slip stitch downward. 1 single crochet. 1 half double crochet. On the bottom edge, at the corresponding stitch positions on the front and back, crochet 1 slip stitch to join. Tighten this slip stitch. Crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Pull tight. The bridge of the nose is completed. The crocheting method for the nostrils is relatively simple. Start with a magic ring and crochet 6 stitches. After completing, leave a yarn tail, and cut the yarn. I've already crocheted it in advance. Next, secure a bead at the center of the nostril. Use the starting chain yarn tail to secure it. Separate the yarn tail into strands. Divide it into 2 strands. Thread it into a sewing needle. Exit with the needle. Thread a bead onto it. Insert it through the other side. Tie a simple knot with the previous yarn tail. You can leave this yarn tail for now. secure the bead on the other nostril using the same method. I'll skip the demonstration for that. Next, attach the nostrils to the bridge of the nose between rounds 2 and 4. Position them approximately 1-2 stitches apart. This will ensure they are properly spaced. First, thread the central yarn tail into a sewing needle. Exit from the corresponding position. Then use the reserved yarn tail. Secure the outer edge in place. Finally, exit again from the same stitch. Tie off the 2 strands and weave in the ends. Fix the other one using the identical method. I'll skip demonstrating that part. Next, sew on the decorations. Cut a longer piece of gold thread and thread it into the sewing needle. Start by securing 3 decorations in the middle of the nose bridge. Insert the needle from behind. Exit at the side of the 4th round. Pull out a portion of the yarn tail. Insert it into the other side. Exit at the upper left position. Don't tighten the line segment. Leave it a bit longer. Insert again at the same position. While threading, secure the line segment in place. Insert underneath. Continue to secure this segment in place. Exit above. Stagger the insertion points and secure a total of 5 spots between the top and bottom. Then exit at the side of the 6th round. Insert into the other side. Similarly, secure 5 points here as well. Finally, exit from the 8th round. Insert into the other side. For the third one, you only need to secure 3 points. Then, at the last row on both sides, secure 3 segments each. There's no specific requirement for the angle, you can choose freely. Pay attention to picking up the loops as a bridge for the yarn tail. Finally, tie a few simple knots with the previously left yarn tail. You can apply glue to secure it and hide it well. Now, secure the nose below. The nose should actually be fixed in the middle between the 2 eyes. The top of the nose should be about level with the eyepieces. Use the reserved yarn tail. First, pick up the loops from the wrong side. Transition to the corresponding position. There's no specific requirement for the securing method, just secure the contact point at the bottom. Finally, bring the yarn tail out through the top. No need to handle it for now. The nose is now secured. Next, learn how to crochet the forehead patch. Use the magic ring method to start. Crochet in rounds. You will need to switch colors while crocheting. Add line decorations after completion. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet technique. The first 2 rounds are relatively simple. Pay attention to the number of single crochets in the first round. Fasten off the yarn when you're done. I've already completed this part ahead of time. Move on to the third round now. The stitch insertion point for this round is different from before. You can take a look at the back of the single crochet. There is a horizontal bar on each stitch. For this round, pick up and crochet through these bars. The first single crochet has this horizontal bar. Insert the hook into it. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. As you work, weave in the yarn tail from the previous fasten off. Tighten gently. Work one single crochet in the same position. Gently tighten the yarn tail from the previous fasten off. For the adjacent single crochet, pick up the horizontal bar and work one SC2 in 1. Continue picking up the horizontal bars. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Work all the way down to complete them. Finish with a slip stitch to conclude. Pull tight. The third round is now completed. The fourth round uses a simpler crocheting method. Upon completion, leave yarn tails, and break the yarn. I will not demonstrate this part further. This is what it looks like after the applique is completed. Next, sew line decorations on top of it. Cut a longer piece of gold thread. Thread it into a sewing needle. Bring the needle out through any stitch at the edge. Insert it below on the left side. Exit above, skipping one stitch. Insert it again in the same position below. Exit above. Insert it on the lower left side. Exit above on the left, skipping one stitch. Repeat this process. Sew downward to create a zigzag shape. After completing it, sew a wong character in the middle of the first two rounds. You can pick up the loops from the wrong side. Use them as a bridge for the yarn tail. Tie off after sewing by securing with the previously left yarn tail. tighten it slightly. The forehead applique is done. Below, attach the applique at the center top of the head. Align the top with the last round. The securing method is similar to that of the eyepiece. The sample main body is small. In practice, keep some distance from the nose. Secure along the edge by going in and out of each stitch. After finishing, exit from the yarn tail position near the nose. Tie a knot and weave in. I'll skip the demonstration for this part. This is the method to secure the forehead applique. Next, we will make the whiskers. Cut 9 strands of 4-ply cotton and 9 strands of gold thread. The exact lengths are marked on the pattern chart. I've already cut them in advance here. Combine them into groups and align. Fold in half twice. One, 2. At a position about 3.5 centimeters away from the top, take another piece of yarn and wrap it several times. Tie a simple knot. You can apply glue to the knot for extra security. Tuck to the wrong side. After completing, cut open the folded part at the bottom. Divide evenly into 3 strands. Braid a rope about 6 centimeters long. While braiding, you can adjust the position of the gold thread and the 4-ply cotton, so they are roughly evenly distributed. The length of the sample swatch is random. After finishing, wrap a few times with the gold thread at the bottom. Tie a simple knot. The knot should be on the same side as the top. You can also apply glue to secure it in place. Tuck to the wrong side. Cut off the loops at the top. Trim neatly. The tail lengths on both sides should be consistent. Use a darning needle to separate all the gold thread. I will not repeat the demonstration. The whiskers are now complete. Cut a piece of yarn, in the same color to make the whiskers. Attach the whiskers below the nose. Cut the tails a little longer in practice. Secure by picking up the loops on the backside of the braid. Finally, exit from the same stitch. Tie a knot with the two strands and secure it well. I will not repeat the demonstration. The whiskers are now secured. Lastly, attach various decorations onto the main part. Start by attaching fabric patches on both sides of the body. Cut the yarn tail a bit longer. Pick up two strands. Insert them into a finer sewing needle. Place the fabric patch on the side of the body. The top should be around the position of the last round of the body. The sample is small. Position it randomly. Insert the needle from underneath. Sew along the inner side of the gold thread, at the edge of the fabric patch. Exit at the corresponding position of the fabric patch. Insert with an interval of some distance. Exit through the body. Pass through the corresponding position on the fabric patch. Insert from the right side. Exit with an interval of some distance. Pass through the edge of the fabric patch. Insert from the right side again. Exit out. Insert from the right side once more. Continue sewing in this way. Adjust the position while sewing to ensure accuracy. This prevents sewing crooked. If the yarn tail isn't long enough, you can tie a knot and join the yarn at the internal contact point between the patch and the body. Tie a knot to join the yarn there. Finally, tie off with the reserved yarn tail to secure it. The method is relatively simple. I won't demonstrate it. Next, we'll make hair for the tail. Cut 14 pieces of gold thread, each 20 centimeters long. The quantity here can be random. Align them together. Fold them in half at the middle. Insert the crochet hook from above the tail. Through the center of the first round of stitches. Exit at the center where you started the chain. Hook out the loop. Pass the yarn tail through the loop. Pull tight. Leave a length of about 4 centimeters. Cut off the excess part. Take a longer yarn tail. Insert it from behind the tail. Exit through the edge of the loop. Secure the loops on both sides a bit. When securing, pay attention to keeping them tight. Make sure the loops stick close together. In practice, you'll need to secure it about 5-6 times. Fix the other side in the same way. I will not repeat the demonstration. After completing, the yarn tail will be quite long. There's no need to cut it off. Switch to a finer sewing needle. Secure the metal piece in the middle of the tail. You can bend it to hold it in place. Once done, tie a knot with the reserved yarn tail. Then secure it neatly. Finally, spread out all the gold thread. I will not repeat the demonstration. This is the method for making and securing the tail decoration. Next, secure the motif and flat back crystal in the ear position. Use a yarn tail that matches the color of the flat back crystal. Pull out one strand to secure it. Place the motif in the middle of the ear. Draw the needle through the center. Insert it into one hole of the flat back crystal. Exit through the motif. Pick up the loops on the surface of the ear. Continue and draw the needle through the center again. Insert it into another hole of the flat back crystal. Insert through the center. Exit from the same position behind the ear. Gently tighten the tail. Tie a knot with the two strands and weave in. The decoration is now secured. Fix the other one using the same method. I won't demonstrate it. Later, you'll need to secure a bell at the center below the whiskers. Attach it at the center below the whiskers. Secure metal pieces on both sides. At the center between the two front legs. Secure 3 flat-backed rhinestones each. Align them with the bottom and the second round. All of them are secured with gold thread. When fixing the flat-backed rhinestones, insert through the top and bottom holes to secure. The method is quite simple. Please fix them on your own. I won't demonstrate this part here. Up to this point, the crocheting method for this toy is complete. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.